It's weird. I mean, I think I told you all my story last week. No, the how I made it to U of H. And actually, like I graduated in the top like 15% of my class. You know, I really wasn't even planning on going to school, to be honest. Like I just wanted to graduate, get out, and fucking go to work. But I had to apply to UT. I had applied to Rice, College Station, and all of them actually like accepted me, except the fact that I never submitted the FAFSA form. You know, and I really didn't have to take the SAT or the ACT because of my star scores, or what do you call it now? TOS. Now it's called the star. Back then it was called the TOX or the TOS. I don't know, tax TOS. But because of those scores, you know, I really didn't have to take the ACT or the SAT. You know, but you know, I guess life works in a mysterious way.
It does. It really does. And then another thing we talked to them about was what were their challenges and struggles when they got here,
Yeah.
and what was the most eye opening, and it goes along with what Nadine brought up, right? Was how
Your own people.
your own people are literally the ones that hold you back. And literally, our family, my mom was her siblings, right? Her brothers,
Her
that
brothers.
were already here. They did not support her in anything that she was trying to do. They were holding her back. They were kind of reminding her or telling her why
Refreshing
she was
her,
here, you
yeah.
know, like don't. This is not for you. Go back to go back to where we're from.
And the reason behind that is because they were just like drunks.
Right.
That's all they were doing, just
Right.
drinking.
And then my dad's side, it was his sister did it for whatever reason.
Feed them.
Feed him. Which is actually pretty funny, right? Because come to find out, that's actually why our parents ended up together. They always say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
That is true.
And sure enough, that worked for mom, right?
So if y'all want to cook for me, let me know. If you're a female, not guys, please don't. I mean, I'll take the food and everything, but nothing else after that.
That's all you're getting.
Yo.
But it was crazy how my mom was saying that when she got her first job at that La Vaca as a buzz girl, the American was more open to helping her out to learn the language, to learn the business, to learn what her job role was to be like, so that she could make more money. And every time she would approach a Hispanic person, they were more of, I guess she would get pushback.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, they were dicks. Like, they were just flat out dicks. Like, well, I figured it out, so you fucking figure it out on your own type shit.
Correct.
But why, though? Like, and that's kind of, I guess...
Money issues, you know? People are scared, like, oh, you know what? You're going to take my money,
Sure.
what I've busted my ass to learn, you know? But what they don't realize is the sun shines for everybody, you know? Like, everybody's going to make bread regardless. All it matters is how much are you willing to bust your ass for it, you know?
Yeah. And, I mean, it's sad, it's frustrating, it's upsetting, because it's like, dude, I'm not... If you're worried about me taking your job, then that means you're not working hard.
Exactly.
Straight up, just straight to the fucking, don't beat around the bush. If you literally here worried about me coming to take your job, then that means you're doing something wrong.
Or you're not busting your ass enough.
Right. And it's like all these, and little sidetrack, right? All these people saying, oh, well, these people are just coming over here and taking our job. Well, dude, the fucking job was there. You have a more advantage being from here.
Knowing the language, knowing the culture.
Literally, you have a fucking social security. All you have to do is apply and you get the job. But this person doesn't. And they have to fucking climb mountains and fucking swim rivers.
And the reason behind that is because it's a labor intensive job, you know? Like, we grew up with the notion like, oh, you know what? I want to work in an office, 9 to 5, you know, I want to have a fancy car. And, you know, I want to get my paycheck every 2 weeks. And it's 2 weeks now. I said a week a while ago.
Well, it depends where you work.
Exactly. Yeah. But I want to get my paycheck, you know, and I want to make sure it's a good paycheck too, you know, because we're not willing to settle for less. We're not willing to work from the bottom like a lot of these people are, you know. Like, a lot of these people, they just want to come work here and make money, you know.
I guess the good and bad thing is that they don't know what minimum wage is. They just work because the dollar they make here is the dollar they would have made there in 2-3 days.
Yeah.
If here they're making $40 a day, they're fucking rich. You know, they're fucking millionaires back if they were to take this money back home.
And like a lot of people say, el dólar te rinde más que el peso, you know, like vas para allá, lo cambias, and hell, you're living like a king, bro. Like you have no idea. You can get a meal. Like a meal, no, like $2, bro. Like the full meal for $2, home cooked style. You know, like con tortillas hechas a mano. You're like $2, and if you're generous, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna leave them a whole total of $5. So it's gonna be $2 for the meal, and then $3 is tip. To us, we're like it's something like common that we're used to, right? For them, it's $3. You're like you left them 60 pesos, you know, give or take. And they're like, oh my goodness, you know, they feel so happy about it, so relieved. And to us, it's like, oh yeah, grateful. And then to us, we're like, oh, well, you know, that's something I would have left over there on that side. But we're talking about a home cooked meal, bro.
Yeah,
like,
so last time I went was probably 2007.
No mames.
And what I remember the most though is that you would give them this tip. And you could tell their reaction changed. I'm not saying they provide you shitty service because they were great. They always provide you great service. But as soon as they saw this money, they were like, they would literally, if they could, give you their home and be like, do you need anything else?
They'd go out of their way.
Literally, like no joke. And what was kind of interesting was that if they could tell right whenever you're not from Mexico, you're coming from the north.
I mean, hell, the way they look at it, like the way we dress,
right?
Like anybody goes from here, they can tell.
So it was interesting for them to realize that these people were coming in and they would literally bend over backwards just to make you feel
welcome.
There you go. That's kind of the mentality that I've learned to appreciate, that I'm learning to appreciate again. Right?
I think that's the mentality we grew up with. Like you got a job, like bust your ass, and then like what do they need done? Don't stop working, and then of course you know you learn the politics of it. You know the ins and outs, and you're like, oh man, screw this. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. I'm gonna go to the restroom, take a dump. And then kill like exactly kill like 15-20 minutes, you know, stuff like that. But like growing up with that nature of busting your behind, dude, that's a whole different story. You know, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. And so that was one of the challenges that they faced. Right, was how the hell do we get support from somebody we know, from somebody that looks like us? And then the other challenge was how the fuck do we learn English?
Even people to this day have that challenge.
Where you fucking learn Mexican. All you know is Mexican. When I say Mexican, is because our way of Spanish is different from somebody's way of Spanish that's probably
like someone from Monterrey, and then from us, like it's a whole different. Like if I say it's the watches, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck? Like what's a watch or something like that?"
Right.
Or we say it's the like cocho,
right?
Cochona, wache, like tu cinco. Like for us, like we know what that means, and then like you say to someone in the north, it's a whole different ballgame, you know.
You know, it's pretty funny because
and by north, like the Monterrey por ahí.
Yeah, so like the same thing in Spanish, right? People are like, "Oh, Spanish is worldwide." Well, not really. So my wife, she's Puerto Rican, right? Mm-hmm. And for us as Mexicans, cabrón is common. Oh, cabrón, right? It's like you're saying like you little badass or you little fucker type shit. Mm-hmm. But to them, it's an offensive word. Oh, shit. And I remember the first time my mother-in-law heard one of us say that to our family member, she was just like surprised. She's like, what did you just say to them? And I was just like...
And she was probably like ready to get her cell phone out and record it.
Yeah, it's offensive to them,
like,
right?
Throw it down.
Yeah, so it was that kind of goes to show you how different Spanish is.
Of course.
In different parts of the world. That even our Spanish, I'll admit it, my Spanish is fucking slang.
Dude, my Spanish is horrible. Like, you hear me speak it sometimes, you're like, oh, good Lord. Like, are you from the States?
Yeah. I mean, we were fucking talking with Mama over here trying to figure out how the fuck do you say successful? I'm over here Google. Successful in
How
Spanish.
do you say successful in Spanish?
Exitoso.
Exitoso.
What was the other one? Regret. I was like, fucking Google, how do you say regret? Lamenta. Fucking Spanish for Spanish speakers over here. Sign up.
But it's true. Like, there's the Spanish is different in the regions where you're from, you know?
But like, yeah, and so imagine that. You know Spanish one way, and then you fucking have to learn English.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do that?
You know, and I thought about it last time because I was like, you know what? It'd be pretty cool to learn Chinese. You know, and then I was like, oh, man, good lord.
You want to know what your barber's saying about you, that's why.
Nah, man, my barber is Hispanic, bro. Go check him out. My boy Chuck had a chop a lot right here on Howard 6 and Clay. Let him know Chago sent you. He knows what's up.
But yeah,
he gonna set you right.
It was funny because Mom was saying how she learned it, right? Mm-hmm. She was talking about how she learned it through the restaurant industry, asking her employees, putting two and two together.
Her co-workers.
Sorry. Putting two and two together, she's like, oh, ice. You know, ice goes in the cup, and then obviously she wasn't saying ice, right? But ice goes in the cup, tea is this, and she was like, oh, okay, she affiliated certain things with certain shades.
You know, speaking of tea, she still makes some bomb ass tea, man. Like, yeah. It's weird. I'm like, how the fuck do you make some bomb ass tea? We're fucking Mexican.
Well, you gotta remember, she worked in the restaurant industry.
I know, that's what I'm saying, bro. But that shit's fucking.
She came in '84 to about 90.
That shit's fucking solid, dude. I'm like, I feel like Uncle Si from Duck Dynasty.
So she worked in the restaurant industry for like 22 years.
She's worked, a long ass time.
And
yeah, later on, we'll explain how like she got out of it because it's a pretty badass story.
I think we can get into it actually. Why not? Because this is where it all started from, right?
But no, because this was more like we were already in high school, por ahí todo ese pedo.
That's true. That's kind of when our world changed better yet. Our perspective changed.
For the good.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was pretty cool hearing her say how she learned English, right? Yeah. She started writing her own notes. She started taking English courses at our elementary schools. And
I never knew that, to be honest.
I didn't know she was I guess at that point she took what she said was follow me courses.
That's what it was, follow me. I was trying to remember the fucking name.
So I guess in my mind I heard follow me courses, and to our era is probably the equivalent of
Inglés sin barreras.
And for those of you who don't know, it's probably like the phonics nowadays or whatever the fuck. Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone, there you go.
And she took these courses, you know, and it goes back to the colorism and, you know, Hispanics being the worst fucking racist amongst each other, is that own family members were criticizing her for trying to better herself, for trying to adapt to the culture, to the country.
I think that's a whole Hispanic thing, man. Like, when they see you trying to be better,
they bring you down real quick.
They'll find a way to, like, fucking bring you down and todo el pedo. Like, te hacen sentir mal por querer salir adelante, you know? It's weird.
They make you feel like the outcast. And I think, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's fear. It's fear from on the other person's behalf.
It's always fear.
Because they're scared of seeing you what you can become. And once they see what you become, they're like, fuck.
Like that, yeah, that could have been me.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, they chose not to, right? It was just,
laziness. Most of the time, it's laziness.
I don't know if it's laziness, but it may be fear.
I don't know. I call it laziness because you've been here for a while. You had the chance to succeed like someone else. And all of a sudden, you don't want to do it.
But when I say fear, I think it's is that fear or failing. You know, as you know, I don't know about you, but me, the way I always thought it was, you can't fail. Failure is not an option. You know, we fucking if you're gonna fail, you fucking buzz your ass 2, 3, 4 times as hard. Yeah,
I think like I don't know about you guys, but for us, failure was like letting our parents down. You know, like they busted their ass for us to succeed, and then here we are letting them down. I think maybe that's the reason why we really like. We're not as fucked up as we should be.
Yeah.
You know, because we were just worried about failing our parents.
And there you're right. And I never thought about this until They said that they left. They didn't have fear. And I'm like, dude, now I feel like even worse of a little bitch for fucking being scared when I left to Austin.
Yeah.
I literally was like ready to come back.
¿La comida o qué pedo?
Just fucking not having anybody. Not knowing anybody. Like I said, I was fucking shy as fuck. If you knew me before 2010, you would know that I was fucking shy as fuck. My life was just soccer, work, and school. That was it. I didn't talk to nobody. I knew people. I would know people on both sides. I knew people. I guess I knew the rich people because I was in the K level courses. Courses.
And that's what you do, Mish.
I knew the hood people because I was on the soccer team, right? So I kind of got a glimpse of both sides of the world. But besides that, when I got to college, I was ready to come back.
You do, and then it's kind of funny because you get to mingle with those people, like those kids who grew up with money, but you never actually try to get anything from. Yeah, you never fit in, or you never try to get information like how their life works, and then you get a fucking degree. You're like, oh fuck, I gotta learn all this shit. Yeah. It's otro pedo.
It is, and then Dad was talking about how he learned English, and Dad is Dad. Dad is just like very.
Your typical Hispanic or Mexican male.
Dad,
yeah.
Minimal answers, straight to the point. He's like, oh, I learned English through roofing, but he actually had what were they, Alfredo and
Los Serna Bros.
No, what was the other guy's name though? Alfredo and somebody else.
Alfredo, I can't remember the other guy's name.
But he had two good, I guess.
Se apellidan Serna. Los Serna Bros.
But thanks to them, they gave my dad an opportunity, and he took advantage of it to the max. Right, he got into the roofing industry. He learned the industry, such that to the point that he was leading his own crew. Right, his own crew even being his own fucking brothers.
Most of them, yeah, or people that came here from
Mexico,
from their little town, and they needed a job, so he'd give them a job.
And that was the coolest thing that I liked from this conversation that we had with them, was that every single fucking time they said, no matter how successful we got, we always remember back home, because that was the easiest thing to forget once you get into this lifestyle.
That is true. Like even right now, you forget where you grew up from. Something you don't really forget most of the time, but it's something that skips your mind. Something like when you're going through some stuff, it skips your mind, and you come back here like, oh shit, you know what? I grew up and shit was different. Like I did shit differently.
You get so caught up in today that you forget what it was like 3-4 years back, right? We didn't grow up with this nice house.
Or this technology that we're speaking into.
Right. We didn't have fucking laptops, computers, but we had a happy childhood.
We did. We playing outside y todo el pedo, güey.
Probably not the greatest thing, but we fucking broke windows and ran like little bitches.
We grew up in that generation. It was still cool to go outside, Te venían a tocar and, hey, you want to go outside? Fuck it. Even if it was riding the bikes around todo el pedo, it was cool. Like for y'all, because I never learned how to ride a bike, so.
Yeah, you still don't.
I still don't.
You still don't know how to swim either.
I don't give a fuck, nigga. That's why there's driving.
What if you're in the river, though?
That's why there's jet skis.
Do you know how to drive them?
I'll ride a fucking dolphin, player.
You scared of water, though?
Vale queso, güey. No, back to what we're talking about, like our dads and, the typical Hispanic male y todo el pedo, like just fucking trying to give us a good life and then trying to show us the hardworking thing.
Yeah.
I remember, I forgot, man, it's been a while. I forgot who I was talking about. Like, I told him I felt guilty about, like, calling in for work. And then the first thing they said, like, are you Catholic? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, Catholics always feel bad about it. Like, other denominations, they're cool about it. They're just like, fuck it. It is what it is. I got to take a day off. I'm like, well, damn, shit.
That's pretty funny that you mentioned religion. Because I don't think it's Catholicism that makes you make that or brings that mentality into you. I think it's our upbringing of unless you're sick, you don't go to work, and by sick, you're dying.
You're fucking dying,
you're
bro.
On your deathbed. If you're not on your deathbed and you're fucking sneezing, coughing, I still want you.
Like if you can get out of bed, bro, you're good.
This is prior to COVID, right? Because nowadays you fucking coughing out, stay the fuck home. Nah, we don't want you out here. Stay fucking home.
Even if you're coughing on like a piece of macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, but you know, unless you can't walk, you can't do shit, then I expect you to be out.
Si no tienes fuerzas o no te puedes levantar, that's when you stay home.
Shit, funny story, right? So whenever I got my wisdom teeth removed, it was 2011.
That shit sounds horrible.
I had my first internship, right? So I got them removed on the Thursday. And they're like, oh, you'll be fine by the third day. So I was like, okay, I'll get them removed Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be fine by Monday when I go back.
I remember you looked like a chipmunk.
Pretty much. And they were like, we'll give you some medication just in case, right? And they gave me some codeine for the pain.
Hey.
And
so my
dumb ass goes to work in my internship. Because as an intern, you don't get paid if you
Correct.
Go to work, right?
Yeah.
So
hourly.
I'm gonna go to work no matter what. So I go to work and I'm like, fuck, these shits are hurting. Fucking let me take some of this codeine. I fucking take one of these. Fucking I'm fucking dozing off. But same thing, it goes back to the fact that I was not gonna let some little wisdom teeth removal stop me from going to the office. If I could drive and get there, I was fucking gonna G it out and just.
Which is what we know. Like especially like with our mom. Good lord, like. I see her go through some shit sometimes. I'm like, how the fuck do you still go to work? Yeah. Like, I would have been a bitch and be like, you know what? I'm fucking dying.
I'm calling in.
I'm dying. I can't go to work.
How many days? I got PTO.
Tomorrow I'll revive myself and we'll be good to go. But no, dude. Like, somehow, some way, they find a way to go to work. Hell, like, even when we were growing up and we drank a lot, more than what we're doing right now. Shit. And you used to get a hangover and then te decía, si te gusta la mierda, te va a ir a gustar ir a trabajar así.
Pero anoche.
I know, dude. No, y se siente feísimo. And then, like, the younger you are, it fucking feels great. You're like, man, you know what? Fuck it. I'm recharged already with an hour's sleep. Yeah. Then you get older, you're like, man, fuck. I need like a whole day.
It's not, a whole week. You know when it's worse? Have a fucking newborn. Worst fucking shit ever.
There's no, you can tell them, hey, man, pause it.
Dude, I remember the first time I got with Mateo, right? He was our first. The first time I got drunk with him, I was like fucking hungover as shit. It was fucking 4 a.m. He's fucking crying bloody murder. And granted, he's still a newborn, right? Like,
how old was he?
He's probably like 3-4 months in.
Damn, valiendo queso.
And I was like, this is the fucking worst decision I've ever made. And it still is every time I drink too much.
And you know what? I'm going to piggyback off of that. And I'm sorry to my students. I'm sorry to my coworkers. My first year as a teacher, I remember it was a STAR test. And the STAR test siempre era como un martes o miércoles. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know what? All I got to do is fucking proctor test. I got to walk around and monitor. There you go. Monitor test. Fuck it, I'm going to go drinking. And I went drinking, dude. No llegué a la casa como a las 3 de la mañana. By 7 in the morning, I had to be at school. My ears were ringing so bad, dude. And I had to stay there. I was like, fuck. You know, because it's one of those things like, hey, man, you know what? Nobody told me to drink. I did it to myself, so fucking tough it out. Dude, it was the most horrific thing I had ever experienced because you cannot take a nap. You cannot leave the room. You just fucking dying in pain. You're dying slowly. Yeah. And then, so from there, I learned, like, you know what, bro? Never again am I drinking before the STAR test or the tax.
Have you ever done it since?
No, dude. That was the last time.
Jeez.
That was the last time, bro. I learned my lesson. I remember,
so I graduated in 2012, right? December 2012. And Paola, my wife, graduated in 2013, May 2013. And she was still in the college mode whenever she got into the industry, right? So she was going out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I was like, she would occasionally invite me, right? This is when I was still trying to spit some game, you know what I'm saying?
Cupcaking player.
Yeah, exactly. And she was going out, and she was like, you don't want to go out on the Thursday? And I was like, I kind of.
You should have been like, see the way my paycheck works.
Yeah, well, I didn't mind. It wasn't the money. It was just the fact that I already knew what it was
fucking
like to be
baller.
in the work industry. That I've always been the morning person because I want to get there early as possible to fucking avoid Houston traffic.
Oh, hell
Houston
yeah.
traffic is the worst. And
All it takes is one dumbass.
yeah. And sure enough, I was like, you know what? One day is gonna catch up to you. You should probably slow down, just transition into the work life, and because sooner or later it's just gonna hit you. I don't know whether you're just like, fuck this, it's not meant for me. And sure enough, little by little, she was like, nah, I can't do this no more. And I was like, that's what I was trying to say.
Like, well, it depends. There's an age when you can do that, and you can wake up early. The next day you go to work, and you fucking feel fine. Like, you fucking feel great. And then little by little, dude, your body deteriorates. You're like, fuck.
Well, we do have Phil. Well, that he's a fucking alien. Like,
He's not an alcoholic. He's just an alien.
No. He knows his drinks. We'll just say that. But you know, and my wife always says, as long as you don't lose the rhythm, you're fine. The moment you lose it, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Your whole system just fucking collapses. So, Phil, don't lose your rhythm, because the moment you do, you're fucked.
Vas a dar el chiquistriquis. No, but it's crazy, man. It's
but going back to the parents, though.
For real, we kind of like got away from that.
One of the things we also asked them was like, what did you have a goal when you came to the States, and what was it, right?
Yeah.
And my mom's goal was just to give a better life to our oldest brother Christian, right? She wanted, and correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe I interpreted it wrong, but she just wanted to be able to provide food for the family.
Yeah, she said like they were a farming family, no? Right? And so, like I said a while ago, whatever they farmed was what they ate. You know, so she was like, man, fuck that. She's like, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to make money and I'm sending them money. So they want to eat something different, they can eat something different.
Right. So, and it's crazy to think that, you know, they didn't really have well, I'm going to go to the fucking States and I'm going to become an owner. I'm going to do this shit.
Yeah, no.
Literally, it was just, their mentality was, I'm going to go to the States to survive. It was just survival mode at that point.
It was like, survival mode.
How the fuck do you switch that? How do you go from your daily life? Oh, you know, I'm a farmer, I'm gonna grow crops and, you know, corn, whatever it is, to
I'm gonna go make money.
I'm gonna go provide food.
I guess the having the need to, you know, like once you realize you need it, you're like, man, fuck this, like. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to go ahead and provide for my family. Because basically, if you're a family-oriented person, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to provide for them.
But funny thing is, though, right? So mom came in '84, and her goal was to save up enough money to go back to where they were from and open up a restaurant.
Yeah.
And to think that, you know, she got hoed, for lack of better words, right? So she was sending money back home, and I'm not gonna say names, but her sister, she was sending money to her sister to save up for her, and then her sister ended up doing God knows what with that money that ended up holding her. It just goes to show you how
needy they were.
Well, not needy. Well, maybe needy, but how selfish.
Needy. That too.
How I'm not sure what.
Say it in Spanish. Fuck it.
Well, I don't even know how to fucking say it in Spanish, right? But
describe it.
That colorism, right? That your own fucking people don't want you to be successful. That they'll literally do anything and everything to bring you down.
That is true.
To come from your own fucking family, you know, literally. And granted, looking at things now is just like, well, you know what? In a way, I'm like, cool. You know, I'm glad you did that to her, because had you not done that to her, we probably wouldn't be here right now.
It probably wouldn't. It'd be a whole different story.
You guys would probably be missing out on all this greatness right now. So
yeah,
y'all should be grateful to my mom's sister for doing that shit to her.
Yeah.
But that was her goal, right? She was literally saving enough money to go back and save a restaurant. That whenever she went back and that money was lost, she just said, "Well, I have no choice but to go back and make a life." And at that point, she realized, well, a life over here is better than what it would be over there.
And not because of like money wise. Actually, it was because of money wise. Value wise, that's what I'm gonna say. Not because of value wise. It's just she was like, you know what, fuck it. Like I'm making more money over here. Like we can adapt, or my son can adapt. You know, I'll bring him over here. Todo el pedo.
Right. And so you guys may think that we're only talking heavily about my mom, but the only reason we talk heavily about my mom is because she gives more detailed responses than my dad does. My dad was just very, yeah, well, I came here because your grandma wanted a radio, so that's why I decided to come here.
Yeah.
I heard that radio. But my dad kind of had the same mentality, right? He just wanted to come make money. He just wanted.
I think like a lot of people, you know, they want to get that American dream. Actually, if you think about it, a lot of Hispanic dads are like that. They're real short dads.
Dry. But that's just how they are, right? And that's kind of how we were / are. I think that's how we are. But through this, we're kind of getting out of it.
Yeah.
We're learning how to share our thoughts and our feelings and all this other shit that goes along.
And it's something that's weird because, you know, as a Hispanic male, you know, you're not supposed to be like you sharing your thoughts and all that stuff.
You can't be soft.
You can't be soft. It's hard, yeah.
Why are you showing emotion?
And then you like, because you grew up like that with your parents, and then you have your own kids. You're like, fuck, like should I be that way with my kids? And you're like, nah, man, fuck that.
Yeah. I think so. Through talking to them, you know, the last question was asked them was, when did you feel like you made it? When did you feel like you were like, this
true.
is why we fucking came here? You know what I'm saying?
So what kind of response did they give you for that? Like, I didn't even listen to it. I wasn't even paying attention. I think I was eating my enchiladas.
So of course, right? Mom gave the most verbal response.
More detailed.
Like, dad was just like, well, yeah, what your mom said. But so to mom was, she realized. Well, dad did give a response, and I'll get to dad's response second because that one is a little hard to portray, I guess, or to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But so mom's was more of a, hey, you know, we felt like we made it when we saw all of you guys become who you are. You know, Christian didn't finish school, Sydney didn't finish school, but we both did. But that doesn't mean that they're not successful now, right?
And I'm pretty sure that doesn't mean like they feel like, or the parents feel like they're failures for that, you know.
Because to mom and dad, we all made it, right? Christian's successful. He has his own business. He has his own family. He's taking care of his family.
He provides for his family,
right?
Yeah.
Him and his wife, they're both successful. They're both taking care of the family. Cindy, same well, right? She's taking care of her family, and along with Joe, and you know they have their own family now that they
want to expand. Yeah, they want to expand that family.
Same thing with you, right? You went to school, you have your job, you have your career, you're successful, and then same thing with me, right? I have my job, I have my kids, I have my family, we're successful, and so with mom, that was when she realized I fucking made it.
Yeah,
I fucking left Mexico and fucking came to the States and suffered so that my fucking kids are who they are now, right? And granted, mom, and it's pretty funny to think that mom, she doesn't brag.
They don't brag at all.
You know, it's kind of, mom is just kind of one of those that she just sits back, you know, she's there in the environment. And they start asking, and you know, she realizes people start bragging about, oh, my kids did, my kids that, and you know, mom's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know,
I guess she doesn't want to brag because one of her kids is a teacher.
Right. But even then, in Mexico, being a teacher is fucking successful as fuck. You know, so there's just like, she just lays back, sits quiet. That when they start asking her, oh, what do your kids do? And she starts saying, oh, well, my oldest son, he has his own business. My daughter, she's a fucking HR manager type shit. My son's a teacher, and then my other son's a fucking engineer. That people just kind of stay back, and they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, because you see them dress, and they still, like, dress so humbly. You know, like, it's just weird sometimes. You see them like, what the fuck?
Right.
I'm pretty sure if you didn't know him, you'd be like, "What the fuck? Like these people are lying. Like, there's no way."
Yeah. You're telling me your kids are that and they're not taking care of you?
Mm-hmm.
But we take care of them. We've done things for them that I'm not saying you guys wouldn't, but if you can, definitely should. But they're in a good situation that they know that if anything happens, we are literally their trust fall.
Let's just say if they want to retire, they'll be fine with retiring.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be good with that life, and just like my dad said, like what's that shit called? Like when you die and you leave something behind. What's that shit called?
You got me there.
Fuck.
Is that a trick question?
No, you asshole.
Yeah.
It's like something that you absorb, not absorb, but what's the word?
Hereditary.
There you go. La mejor herencia es el estudio.
Yeah.
The best thing that I can inherit to you is your studies.
And they did.
And they did, because, I mean, they don't have money and shit like that, They came up here not came up here, but they came to these states to make money, to bust their ass, and to give us a good life. To make sure that we did not work like they did, sun up, sun down.
Like they did.
And then, so they're like, you know what? We can't give you money, but we gave you a good life so that you can go ahead and give your kids a better life,
Yeah.
So I think what they did, they started that a whole American dream for us, and then we're gonna extend it to our kids,
Right.
I hope we do.
Yeah, and it's kind of like I told Mom, right? They flat out set a great foundation for us, so that we can set that for our kids. And one thing, like I was telling her, I was like, one thing I want to instill into my kids is to be fucking proud of their fucking names. Don't fucking Americanize it just for the American.
Yeah, or for job purposes.
My fucking kids' name are Mateo and Beatriz, and they're gonna be fucking proud of that shit.
Beatriz.
When they say Beatriz, you're gonna say fuck you. My name is Beatriz. I don't give a fuck if you call my mom, because my mom's gonna back me up type shit.
Damn, you're that kind of parent.
I am, dude, because we have to be proud of that shit. We have to teach them to be proud of that shit. Because the way the culture is here is they try to downgrade you such that to the point that you become one of them. But it's like, nah, fuck that. You don't even want me to be one of you. You're not accepting me as one of you. So why the fuck should I do that?
You're a Beatriz in a Karen world.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do for our kids, like set them up for success. And even if you don't have kids, maybe a sibling or something like that, or even yourself.
Your little nephew.
Set them up for success. Set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do.
Right, and so then we asked Dad the same thing, right? And my dad's was more on the emotional side.
What did he say? I didn't even hear that shit.
And so I think partially a part of me says talk about that on an episode about
Pinche vato, just say it.
Well, no, because it's a serious topic that a lot of people don't talk about.
Well, you can just say it, and next topic we can start off with that topic.
So I guess we'll for that then. My dad is a cancer survivor.
Yeah. We both are, him and I.
Right, and so that's what I was saying. I think that's a great topic to literally just focus on that, focus on cancer, focus on sickness, focus on how it affects the family.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, monetarily, that it takes a toll. That you learn a lot of it through it, but needless to say, though, Dad's response was more of he was on his deathbed and he was pretty much just saying, you know what, he was telling, well, Mom was saying that, right, because Dad obviously can't share stuff like this without getting emotional. But Mom was saying that Dad was literally sitting or laying there on his bed saying, you know what, God willing, whatever happens, but you and I know that we made it.
Yeah, we made it.
Our kids successful. We gave them the opportunity to become who they are now. And if God wants me to die now, then I will die right now.
I think maybe not successful, but more like we gave them the opportunity to go ahead and compete in this professional world, professional setting. And, you know, they'll be able to hold their own. You know,
I wouldn't say compete because
to me it's a competition.
This world is competitive, but to me, we are all successful. We are successful because we
like
are
we
able,
as some brothers, or we as like everybody.
we as an individuals.
Oh damn! You sound like fucking like one of those happy-go-lucky speeches.
Why?
I don't know. Like it just sounds like it.
Well, no, it's true though, because that's what I'm saying though. Like as Hispanics, we don't celebrate our successes.
Yeah, we don't.
That we should take advantage of it, right? I mean, look at Christian, right? We'll start top to bottom, right? Christian, he came here as an immigrant. He had nothing. He went to school. For whatever reasons, he chose not to finish it, right? But
no, he did. He finished it. He just, you know, like circumstances.
Right. So, but he has his own business. He is well known, you know, such that if something comes up, he's a first go-to person, right? That they'll call him, so he can establish his name, his brand, and with that he takes care of his family.
Hell yeah. I think one of the things that we were que nos inculcaron, you know, like cuidar a la familia. Mm-hmm. Like look after them before you look after yourself.
Right. Cindy, similar story, right? You talk to her, you would not know who the fuck she is until you put some little Intocable, some what else does she listen to?
Duelo.
Some Duelo, you know, she'd be like, oh, this is my shit, you know, and then you're like, oh shit, I forgot this side of you.
Yeah.
And you obviously you're a teacher, you know, so it's like, and then I'm an engineer, so it's like, you know, to them we're successful by being who we are. By
being in the position that we are.
To them, they came here, you know, they didn't have kids at that point, or mom had a kid, right? But to them, they came here to this country just to have a better life. And then obviously once they had us, it became give them a better life.
More like survival mode, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. But needless to say, though, they made it work. They made
just like a lot of parents out there. They made it. They came here and they made it work somehow, some way. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
so I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but in my mind, they made us
based on their struggles.
Right. And their struggles is a reflection of who we are, how we are,
and how they raised us, and all that shit.
Things, how our mentality is.
And I think a lot of the people, you know, listen to us, they feel the same way. Like they're gonna look at their parents, and be like, "Oh shit, like you're not born here in the States, no?" And then they're gonna get curious and ask them like the same kind of questions we asked our parents. You know, like why?
And definitely,
the main question is why.
The coolest thing about this, though, I'm not gonna lie, is when we asked them why and they gave us their responses. I can see why they're so proud.
Yeah.
I can see why they were okay with making the decision to move.
Or to bust their ass.
And then it kind of it humbles you, right? It humbles you to just be like, well, you know what? Thank you. You know, and unfortunately, we live in a world where thank you does not come up. But if a thank you is given, it goes a long way.
Or if a thank you, you know, we live in a world where if a thank you is given, it has to come with a gift.
Yeah.
That's the kind of world we live in. It's kind of dumb if you ask me. Like a thank you should hold its own weight. You know, that's all it is. It's just, oh, you said thank you. Well, shit, thank you. You know, like
right. That's all it is.
That's all it is. Like someone feeling grateful for what you've done for them.
Right.
You know,
it's they don't really truly show the appreciation.
They don't. A lot of people don't.
But it's nice to know why we're here right now.
Where we're talking about it.
Talking about it because of a sacrifice of a decision that they made, unknowing what was the future going to be like.
25 years ago? No.
84. We're talking about 26 years
30
ago.
years ago?
26, 25 years ago.
My math is off. No, 30. It comes
30?
in 2020. The thing about it was 85.
Calculator.
5 plus. Por ahí, güey. Como 30.
85, 84. 36 years. 36 and 35 years ago. You know, it's crazy to think that thanks to them making that decision for whatever the fuck that was at that time.
You know, at that time they were making that decision for themselves.
Right. But we are here. When I say we are here, I'm saying in the sense that us as Mexicans or Mexican Americans are living in the American world, being in a part of a change.
Hell yeah, being that big old part of a change, you know, because now we got the language down, now we got the ideology down, you know, and then we can apply it for ourselves, but more importantly, we can relay this knowledge to other people, you know, whether it's our kids or other people getting started in this
or
shit.
You guys are listeners.
Yeah, like we can relay all this stuff to other people.
I think that's the cool thing about this, right? Is breaking that stigma of you shouldn't be helping me. You know, that colorism. That, you know, only because you look Hispanic doesn't mean I should help you. You figure it out on your own.
If you approach me, I'll help you out regardless.
Exactly, and it's kind of I don't know. I whenever you sent me that feedback that Nadine sent you, I thought about it. I was like, man, colorism. You know, it's like people. You know, she said we got to take care of our own shit. Which
you know
true.
what? To be honest, we do, but we gotta take care of people. In regards, it don't matter what skin color you are, todo ese pedo, like your background.
Right.
You gotta help everybody. At least that's the way I think. Like everybody deserves a chance, and you can help them out. Help them out. Fuck.
Definitely. Why not? I mean, you know, mom and dad always said we're humans. Every human's the same.
Yeah.
Every human steps on the same ground.
Yeah.
Stay humble. Take care of everybody. Take care of your family.
Most importantly, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. That's all that matters. Cause if you don't take care of yourself, you're not gonna be able to take care of anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I heard one saying, you have to be 100% healthy to take care of somebody that's 100%.
Yeah.
And that is the most true statement I've ever heard.
That is true.
I don't have any more thoughts, any more feedback.
Input.
Do you have anything else?
No, we're good, man. Just fucking keep chugging along, trying to break into this professional world that we have little to no knowledge on.
Yeah.
That a lot of us are learning on, and hopefully with our words we can go ahead and inspire you, and hopefully you can go ahead and, you know, break into this world as well. You know.
Right.
We're here to help everybody out, and that's the way it should work.
And if you guys have any topic, anything you guys come to mind, or if you guys want to be a part of this, let us know. You know, we'll be glad to have you guys here. Like we said last time, we'll host you. We'll make you feel welcome. Anything you want to drink, we'll get for you. Just no top shelf. You know, we're ballers on the budget. Times are tough right now, but we're making it work.
We're professionals, but not that level.
But stay tuned. Subscribe, like.
Share. That's gonna be the best thing. Share.
Put that notification bell. I think our path wasn't intended to have a guest until later on.
Yeah, but somehow we just like stumble upon it.
Yeah, and I think we have a good one.
We have a great one actually coming up. It's gonna be knowledgeable. A lot of good stuff coming up.
Very knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable about life.
Military. That's one thing that is like.
As a Hispanic,
we don't talk about.
We don't really know about much.
I don't. So stay tuned. That's going to be our episode for next week. You know, we won't drop a lot of details because, of course, we want you to come back. But besides that, I mean,
Coño.
I guess with that, I got nothing else. I'm gonna sign out.